guess that was a green light on that car wash. You see this green light blinking here? So that means that there's a surveillance camera that's keeping an eye on the property all the time. Now I'm north of where I used to live, but this is still the west side, and I'll cut down there and see how it looks. I only lived there for a year. I noticed one time looking the property up on an internet, there was a big drug bust there. The DEA had it under surveillance for a long time. When I was living there, most of the neighborhood was nice. That's Grandmont. Woodmont, this is where I lived, although this won't go through. It was fun living down there. Before they tore the big housing projects down, Herman Gardens, I used to go there and play basketball all night long. It was great. They never bothered me when I was down there. I did see one guy get stabbed and there were fights quite a bit, but it was almost like they acted like I wasn't even there. Plus I was busting their ass with 3-point shots all night. That's probably what quieted them down. Now here's one of the schools that's been ransacked. The city has their own like school police department, and they can arrest you if you go in there. That one's been secured, but if they're secured too long, people just start breaking into them again. The scrappers pretty much clean these places out. But as you can see here up on North Woodmont, there are still a ton of homes that are vacant or half burned down or unoccupied. And the city has quite a few squatters, people that have moved into homes that are abandoned and just continue to live there. There's a couple of those in Delray. I went by them last time I was down here, and I'll go by there again. I mean, big deal. I mean, these people need a place to live. Woodmont was nothing like this when I lived here, although we're talking like over 30 years ago. Now this is north of where I lived, but I used to still come up here sometimes and cut across Plymouth Road. But you can see like these are all over. Usually when I'm driving around videotaping, it's no problem, but probably 1 out of 100 people get pissed. So you can see there are a lot of small businesses. These areas used to be really vibrant, but you know, Detroit hasn't cornered the market on vacant homes. A lot of grant money creates these parks where they pay for the equipment, federal grant money, which is kind of nice. And I'll tell you, the Kresge Foundation really does a lot of good for Detroit. They fund a lot of things, keep a lot of places open, really for the museums, cultural interests. So I guess my memory's not too good. I guess it wasn't Grandmont that I went through. You'll see too in a lot of these places boats in yards, just old boats. I never really got a straight answer on that. I mean, I guess it was somebody that liked to boat and moved, but you can tell they've been there forever. Yeah, here's Woodmont. But I don't think that goes through either. It doesn't. Now you'll find an area of homes that are really nice. It's not uncommon to find a block where the people really do a good job. Look at all these brick homes. I mean, they've still barricaded themselves in, but their homes are decent. This is all that new housing where Herman Gardens used to be. That's been up there for quite a while now. And it looks like it's well maintained, so good for them. The people that are living there. Lately, when I'm reading the paper, there's been shootings, a lot of crime around the west side. As I said, there's no shortage of party stores. They've patched some of the holes in these roads too. One business I left out, pawn shops. They're all over. I stopped in that store before, the one that's on, I don't know what it is, Pawn Wars or whatever it is. That guy named Les. He's actually a really nice guy. But that's all set up to, you know, for a TV show. You could sit there forever and not see as many things as people bring in a half-hour show. Steve Wilkos, the guy that used to be the bodyguard for Jerry Springer, he's the one that lined that up. That Les asked a management company for Springer about doing a commercial, and Wilkos went up there, and then they got talking, and Wilkos lined them up with the same show that produces Jerry Springer's. And by the way, Jerry Springer is one hell of a nice guy. I used to see him often down in Chicago. Really a good guy. That show is just an act, and anybody that knows him will say that. He's a really kind person. He's got a daughter that's handicapped, and I used to know the girl that babysat for him. They lived over in the Hancock Tower. There's a Catholic church over where I used to live, St. Christopher's. We would get in there once in a while and play basketball, and I'm kind of curious to see if that place is still in one piece. There's another school that's abandoned. Here's my old street right here. This is St. Christopher's Church, and this is they have a school there as well. I'm assuming that's still doing okay. It still looks very nice. Yeah, good for this place. They had a fairly sizable congregation as I was here, and obviously to keep the doors open, a lot of people must still be going there. This area is very close to the suburb of Dearborn, Livonia, Dearborn Heights. Now 7540. See all the old mature trees? That's one thing you can't duplicate in a new neighborhood. 7450, it's this light colored one up here. It's this light colored one with the right there, 7450. Yeah, pretty much looks the same. This neighborhood really hasn't changed as much. There's a, I think it's Fairlane Shopping grocery store up here. Be curious to see if that's still around. Yeah, Fairlane Food Center, yep. Still going. Now this area, as we travel east, is inhabited by a lot of Arabic people that are from, it's right on the border at Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, and they really have done a nice job in making it look better. You'll see as we go further east, but when I was living here, there was just a ton of crime up and down this street. You took your life into your own hands if you went out after midnight. So I'm kind of curious how it looks. So far, not bad. God damn it. So you'll see all these Arabic restaurants. I've been to most of them. They're very good. This Motown, what the hell is that? I don't know what it is. I don't really even recognize a lot of these places. Now I'm slowly making my way down to Southwest Detroit, which is where I do most of the interview with the women. And this is still the west side of Detroit. Dollar General, Dollar Center, they're all over around here. There's a flower shop still making it. See, there's a strip here. This may technically be Dearborn, the very north end of it, but it's not very long, maybe a mile or two. I'm not sure on that. I know it's right on the border. I think it's Detroit, but that small area could be Dearborn. Like shish kebab, you love it here. Mediterranean food, excellent. Look at this lady driving the sports car. She must have a machine gun under the seat. They have a lot of carjackings around here. Yeah, so here's a Dearborn cop. So this strip right here is Dearborn, I guess. He wouldn't be over here. Must be like 3 miles wide, I guess. The very northern tip of Dearborn. Look at this Einstein. Is this guy turning or what? No, he's gonna run the red. No, he's gonna turn.